Hey guys, what is going on? My name is Thornton and welcome back to another video. Today we're taking a look at another budget-friendly mechanical keyboard option, and today we're looking at one which is from the company called Tecware, and this is called the Phantom. Features some cool things like hot swap capabilities, but stick around as always to hear about the features, build quality, performance, and whether this keyboard is going to be right for you. You can find the Phantom on Amazon's website for just $50, which I would say is definitely a reasonable price, which we'll get more into that as the review goes on, of course. You can either pick it up in a red, brown, or blue Outemu switches. The one I have today is with their brown Outemu switches in it, just so you guys know. Out of the box, as getting the keyboard itself though, you're also gonna get a keycap puller, which is stored on the bottom of the board, along with the bag, which has some extra brown Outemu switches, which will be different depending on which switch choice you go with. Then also a switch puller, because this board does have that hot swap functionality. Starting off with build quality and design, this is 100% or a full-size keyboard layout, so you're getting all the things you expect that, like your number pad, your F-row, your shortcuts, all that good stuff that you see on a full-size board. One thing you are lacking is any dedicated media controls. Those are going to be shared on your F-row keys between F5 and F11, which you also have to hold down your function button to be able to get access to those media controls. So kind of bummer it's not dedicated media keys, but then again, $50, you can't really complain too much about that. I don't really prefer a full-size layout anymore, but I really enjoy how this one is done. They went with like a borderless design around it, so it's kind of perfectly fit to those keys, so it actually isn't that big of a footprint, even with it being a full size, so I kind of like the clean and minimalistic look it puts off. You do get a metal top plate on it, which is really nice to see for just a $50 board. The rest of the frame construction though is plastic, but even with that, it's a super solid build. Even when I'm putting some pressure on that, as you guys will see, barely any flex, basically nothing at all. You can also get a nice nylon braided cable, which is one of the better cables I've actually seen on these cheaper boards. Sadly though, it is fixed into the back, so you're not able to pull it out. It's not like a USB-C type cable, which is a little bit of a bummer, but it's not bad. On the back, you do get routing options, which is something I've seen more and more recently as I keep looking at these keyboards, but it's kind of a nice inclusion because maybe depending on where your PC set up, you can either route it off to the left, right, or just how I have it right now, out of the back middle of it. So that's kind of cool to have included. Also on the bottom of the board, you'll find 4 rubber feet, 2 in the back and 2 in the front, just to help it not slide around your desk, as well as 2 flip out legs in the back. If you like to type or game in a more aggressive incline, that option is available to you. For keycaps on this, these are double shot ABS, which is nice to see, so you don't have to worry about those legends ever wearing off of it just because it's actually directly printed into the keycap itself. So that's nice to see on this board. Below that, you're gonna find your switches, which obviously depending on which Outemu brand or color of switch you choose, you're gonna get a different sound profile. Again, the board with me today has their Outemu browns on it, and I'll go ahead and give you guys a sound test of those now before we talk any more about them. Overall, I think they sound really nice and definitely comparable to other Outemu switches or brown switches I've used in the past on some other boards. Stabilizers, they're pretty good, like shift and your enter and your caps lock, all those small stabilizers sound really decent. Nothing amazing, nothing horrible, of course. The spacebar, I feel like I mentioned this in every review. Spacebar is not great, but the weird thing about it is it's on the right side, which is where I actually type. It sounds fine, but then when you move over to that left side, which you guys will probably hear in that sound test too, it gets rattly, kind of pingy there. I'm not sure why. It's like almost like they just forgot to maybe grease or lube one side of the stabilizer and the other side's fine. For me, it doesn't bother me again because I use my right thumb on the right side of the spacebar, so I don't hear it. But when I'm actually hitting on it, I can tell that's there because I can hear both sides of that stabilizer. Again, that might just be my copy. I'm not sure if that's with everyone. Personally, if that stabilizer sounded the same all the way across, I would say overall really good sound. Just that one little thing I wanted to point out, something you guys might want to consider if you're picking it up. Again, you do get some included extra switches, which for me, I had the brown switches, so they gave me some extra brown switches. That'll change depending on what board you have. And this does have the hot swap functionality, so if one of your switches does go out, you have those extra ones just to pop right in there. And if you wanted to, you could get some other Outemu branded switches to put in here if you just want to try out some different switch varieties as well, which is a nice inclusion to see on a $50 board. Quickly going over the lighting options on this board, they do have a software which you can look up on their website. Some reason, every time I try to download it, I just kept getting error codes and I could not get it on the board itself, but I'm able to control everything I want to on the board already as far as lighting goes, so I wasn't too worried about it. I just wanted to get into it to test it out for you guys, but sorry I couldn't get into that. So going on to the actual onboard lighting itself though, you can go between different preset effects, change the direction of them, the speed, the brightness, So there's a lot of customizability there between all those different things together. You can definitely probably get exactly what you want out of it with the different combinations put together. You also do get full in-key rollover, so you don't have to worry about any switches not activating no matter how many you're holding down, as well as 1000 hertz polling rate. Overall, I really enjoyed my time using the Phantom keyboard. Like I mentioned earlier, I don't really prefer using a full-size keyboard anymore, but testing this out, I really enjoyed it still because I love how compact we're able to keep the design still with that borderless frame design, as well as that floating key. I thought it looked really nice, minimalistic, and it kind of kept a clean look to it overall. If you guys like the style of it and you like a full-size keyboard, this is definitely a big recommendation for me. I think overall, really solid build as far as features go as well. A lot here with the Hotswap functionality, if that's something you guys want to take advantage of too, this has that for you as well. Overall, definitely a recommendation for me, and for $50, I don't think you can go too wrong with this. Thank you all so much for watching, and if you found the video helpful or informative, please do smash that like button for me and consider subscribing for more content just like this in the very near future. As always, if you have any questions about my time using it or about the board itself, let me know in the comments down below, and I'll try my best to get back to you quickly and with the best answer I can. And I'll see you guys in the next one.